Gotta represent. So, I've been working my ass off in the garage for the last couple weekends. It's been fun. I have to agree. You can tell it's loud. I might look into possibly like baffles or lollipops because it's loud. I gotta fix an issue with a bolt on the exhaust bracket there. Looks like it scratched the oil tank. The tolerances are really close. Like even where the bracket comes out above the control arm or the swing arm here, the drive belt is, man, super close. So I might see if there's a little bit of play in that to make some room. This isn't the end. There'll probably be more. I just gotta take a break because I spent a lot of money. I didn't get any deals except for a Black Friday sale on the pipes. Nobody sponsored this. Like, nobody knows who I am. I bought all this stuff full retail online. Links are all down below. I still want to modify my drive belt cover to fit. I just gotta trim it down a little bit, and then I'm debating on whether or not I want to put the passenger controls back on. If I do, I'll have to angle them downward or flat, so if I hit a bump it won't compress them into the exhaust pipe. Not sure if I'll put those back on or not. I'm still looking at getting a factory luggage rack and sissy bar so that in the summertime we could take this thing moto camping with the wife. Other things, I want to do foot pegs, flat foot pegs I should say. These tires are brand new still. I'm planning on doing a dirt setup. I'm still exploring my tire size options, but right now it looks like I have one tire option for the mag set. If you have spokes, there's a lot more other options out there. I wanted to do a setup like the TKC 80s, but they don't make a rear in a, what is it, a 130/90 16-inch rim. But there's another tire I'm looking at. I might look into some sort of crash protection for the front. I don't want to do a traditional hoop, so I may look into something custom possibly. I don't have any intentions on modifying the rear fender. I actually kind of like it. My friends told me they don't like it because they think it looks like a Dyna. I learned with my street bob that a bobbed fender, you end up getting mud up your back, and I think this will do a little bit better job of keeping the mud off me. I'll probably add a fender extension to the front on the bottom just to keep the dirt down. We're still doing a skid plate. Eventually we're doing the chain conversion. I just gotta take a break, man. Like, this has been an expensive month. And now that we're heading in the winter, there's no real rush for this stuff. But I've really enjoyed working on this thing in the garage. Even with a few setbacks like breaking the ground off and having to rewire or rerun all the cable controls and everything for the handlebars, all the wiring, that was like a 6-hour job, I think, all in all. Like, on video, I did probably like a solid, 12 minutes of work. but in reality it was 6 hours of pushing and pulling and depinning and figuring out where the connectors were, and I'm really proud of that. I mean, I think that's my 4th or 5th handlebar job now. It was about as bad as my wife's 2009 Dyna. I didn't have to run the wiring inside of that, but in order to pull it out of the factory bars, I had to pull back the gas tank, undo the connectors, depin a lot of it. I mean, that was about as labor intensive on her bike as this, so I feel like I had a little bit of experience under my belt and I wasn't really intimidated because I knew I could figure it out. So in closing, we're going to go through and answer a few questions, address a few comments. Top question: what's a good price for a clean 2001 Sporty? I paid $3,000 for this bike. The only thing the guy did for me was he put a new battery in for it. It hadn't been ridden in a little bit of time. It was actually his wife's bike, and I believe she had a son and she just didn't ride as much, which I think she's watching, so hi. Hopefully I didn't ruin your bike. I swear I'll take good care of it. So you put a battery in for it. It does need an oil change, which I don't think it's really that old. I want to flush the brakes still. The brake fluid and all still looks pretty good, but it could be aged, so I think the bike was stored well, honestly. It's kind of surprising how clean it is for 2001, but that'll be part of the spring maintenance video. I'll try to film a lot of that. Now, $3,000 for the bike. I paid $220 for the shocks. I paid $170 for the pipes. I got those on a 20% off Black Friday sale, and they're typically $200. The bars I think were $140. So far that's all I've bought. Now we're still looking at skid plate, foot controls, and a few other accessories like the chain conversion. So I might get away with this Scrambler build for, I don't know, $4,500 altogether with the purchase of the bike, which isn't too bad. I think it's pretty good. Somebody asked, why did I want a Sportster between 2001 and 2005? At the time I was looking, there was a couple upgrades after 2000, I think it was. I don't specifically remember why. I know there's a couple, like every year from 2000 to 2005, there's minor changes. So like the rear axle changed sizes, I think a couple times. When I originally was shopping for this bike, there was really only 3 things I was looking for. I wanted the stock peanut tank, that small tank there, which I know there's smaller peanut tanks, but that's the one I wanted. I wanted mag wheels. I didn't want to worry about tubes. I like the mag wheels personally, even though it's harder to find dirt tires for. And I wanted mid controls. I didn't want to have to worry about doing a mid control conversion, because I knew that on this year as well, the rear brake line goes up and over the engine case, not under. If your brake line goes under, you have to get I think a belt guide or a chain guide to lift it up so that you don't tear off your brake line, basically. So this, I don't have to worry about doing that because the brake line runs up and over and it's clearanced more. Yes, the bike is a 2001 883 Hugger, and from what I can tell, that just means it was a lower bike. I do plan on actually raising the front up with a better shock or a better spring, and possibly extending the tubes a little bit to get it up higher as well. I'm going to research that more. If you have any suggestions on improving the front end with a better spring let me know down below. I definitely have been reading your guys' comments. Somebody said they prefer older carb bikes, easier to work on, fewer things to go wrong. This bike is carbed. It seems to be running pretty good. I didn't change any of the jetting. The pipes that were on it were straight pipe Vance and Hines. I don't know if there's really a lot of adjustment necessary. Now, again, like I said, I'm probably going to add like a lollipop or a baffle to it. So that'll give it a little bit of compression. A lot of people keep asking if I'm going to do a 1200 or a 1250, or really there's no reason to. If all I'm doing is putting around on back roads doing 35, 45, I mean, this thing, it's already plenty powerful enough for me to do what I wanted to do with it. Somebody said they read about a Sportster 1200 in the Baja 1000. Yeah, that's actually getting a lot more common. If you follow like Rusty Butcher and I think Biltwell did a bike. They did, what is it called? Fridell. There's been a lot. I forget, like 5 or 6 Sportsters in the Baja. And that was a major influence on my decision to build one of these. Not that I'm going to do a Baja race, but it just looked fun. Like, the bike looks fun. I love how obscure it looks. Like, it's a jacked up Harley, and I think they just look sweet. A couple people finally told me that the emblem on the tank is from a 57. Even the paint scheme is supposedly mimicked from a 57. So I wonder at some time if this bike was painted or customized, or if the dealer did it or what. But that's pretty cool. It makes the bike a little more unique in my opinion. And I have no intentions on changing it. I love that little logo. I think it definitely makes it unique. Somebody said 40 Cal Customs builds Sportster based scramblers. That's definitely a sweet bike. Rusty Bagger also does had, I don't know if he still has it actually. I found a couple of his videos of his Sportster Scrambler where he was riding around old roads. That I think I've watched those probably 5 or 6 times. That was also a major influence on my decision to do one of these. It just looked fun. I mean, I know it's not a pure dirt bike, but it still adds a challenging effect of taking a 500-pound Sportster on back roads. It was just, I don't know why, I'm just fascinated by that concept. Somebody said I can do the twin front disc conversion off the 2004 to 2005 883R. I've actually, I was looking for 883Rs, and I couldn't find one, I think cheaper than like 45 or 5 grand. I think they're still worth it. I mean, those bikes, the 883R, from everyone I've seen, they're usually kept in better condition for some reason. I mean, I can do a dual front disc conversion. I don't know if it's necessary, but it's always a possibility. So, thanks for following along with these last couple videos. There will be more. We've got a few more parts we're going to put on eventually, and hopefully a lot more adventures next summer. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.